win for the team. Did you talk to the guys beforehand at all about the importance of this one, or just treat it?
Well, what we talked about, I said, put. It was a cool text I got from my dad. He said something to me. He said, I can't remember it verbatim, but he just said, don't put too much pressure on this game. He said, put pressure into this game in terms of your effort and execution. Have that be the intensity. If you're fighting, we got to get this win, or it's this or that. And you can sometimes put too much pressure on the outcome. You got to do it. It was like, we just talked about what the force we'd put into the game with, and I know this will sound strange, but our assertiveness offensively, trying to attack in certain spots and do things, and then trying to be good. I thought defensively, again, we had some, they broke us down a little bit and got in the lane and some miscommunication on ball screens, but guys made plays. It was great. It's funny how you make a few shots and then the floor sort of opens up, and Reese was terrific. And we just, tried to do some different things, but it was not so much, I'm rambling on, your question was about talking about the magnitude of the game. Every game's meaningful, but I think these guys are smart. They know whatever the magic number is to get in. It's just, you're just fighting, and you're still pursuing the right stuff. And I like that idea about not pressure on the game, pressure in the game with your passion and how you're going to play and do the hard things well and not yield on them.
Tony, you were able to get some better looks for Isaac, a little more open looks. You changed up the lineup. You mentioned Reese driving. Why were you able to do that? And then how big was, obviously, that stretch where he gets the back-to-back ones?
Yeah, well, I just think a few shots went down. Jake stretched the floor. I thought Andrew Rohde really gave us a great lift. And then, obviously, Reese was attacking. And then, we had some rolls at the rim. It just if those shots go down, and then they have to make some decisions. How are we going to guard the ball screen? How are we going to guard the off-ball screens? Guys can separate. If they switch, then we were attacking some of the mismatches. So I thought offensively, not perfect, but from the last couple games we've played, it would be probably perfect if you did a comparison in terms of how we played, in terms of just getting some shots, doing things. But, again, made the free throws when we needed to. Missed it, kept it interesting, some not sound fouls, but just – if you watched us this year, we squeaked some of them out, and we're far from perfect. But the kids, they do battle, and it was good to be able to come in here, and they're very physical. And Post, obviously, look, 24 and 10. He's one of the best bigs in our league, and well coached, and they play hard. It's just what road basketball, ACC basketball is. Everything's just kind of condensed right now, and we knew we were going to have to be able to match their physicality and bring some. A little more scoring, and thankfully we did.
Coach, last time you guys were in this building, you came in ranked 6th, and you got upset in a pretty.
Yeah, got dominated. Yep.
Of course, after that, but how much is that on your mind, if at all?
Well, again, I have so much respect for Coach, because they play. They're real physical. They play physical basketball on both ends, and they have. I don't know, some of those players back, a good amount, I think. I don't know the exact number. And so we knew the physicality was going to be real on both ends. So we tried to prepare that way. We played a real physical game against Carolina, defended really well, and labored mightily to make shots, get shots. So we tried to address that and just said, look, we're still playing. We've got 3 games left. Every game's meaningful without, overdoing it. And, there's only Reese played in this game last year. IMAC played a little bit. I don't think Ryan played but a few minutes. So we only have, 2 guys that have been in these kind of games, and Reese and Ryan's the third who played maybe 10, 11 minutes a game. So this is a new group. This is an old league. This is old college basketball. We got a lot of new guys, and so to reference too much last year, I don't think it matters. I mean, we had a veteran physical team last year and got kind of beat up pretty good, but I'm glad it was different this year.
You had Ryan out of the game for most of the final 9:40 or so. Was that kind of because you felt you needed more offense at that point?
It wasn't necessarily scripted. I just, one, he had been playing, and he was all over the glass. We were using him in different spots, and he needed a break. And I put in Rohde, and I thought Rohde played real well, and I just felt the rhythm going. I felt like Rohde made a couple nice passes, hit a big 3 in the corner, I think, was moving well. I thought he was guarding well, and Jake was. I liked how that looked, and I was thinking about going back with Ryan. But I just thought those guys, they stretched the lead a little bit, And so that group was good, and Ryan was on the bench cheering like crazy, and then we used him obviously when Blake fouled out. And I thought Blake did a decent job. We were having trouble down the stretch, hit that shot, but was a little more, besides following post on the three, was a little more, was quicker to help and bother and clog some things up.
Like you mentioned that Rody hit a big shot, he gave you a lift off the bench. You did change the lineup. What was the thinking behind going with Jake tonight?
Yeah, I just thought let's get a little more shooting on the floor. Let's move Ryan around a little bit on the perimeter because they've really been zoning up off him. So move him. And I said, Ryan, you got a good shot, take it. And and I didn't want him to not. You gotta look to be a threat in different ways. And I said, be elite rebounding. I said that's what you can do on offense and defense. And I was so glad to see that and be elite defensively. But I just wanted to get a look. And again, it wasn't. It's not necessarily a demotion. It's just we changed things up, and then look how Rody played and responded. And so, again, I liked what I saw, and I'm glad those guys got going when we needed it.
I know you've seen it before from Reese, but as a coach, how comforting is it to have a guy who will kind of, I don't know if he, probably not fair to say he took over the game, but he kind of made plays when you need.
Close. Yeah, he's games that are close, college basketball, I mean, you got to make plays. You got to make defense plays. You got to make offensive plays. And Bach and I were talking coming here. He's one of the more underrated guards in the country. He's good. The stuff he does, and he's playing that. He does some things that he's unassuming. But the more he plays, the more you watch him. I hope people are seeing what's happening for his future because it's good, and he knows how to play. And I think he's underrated in so many ways, but some of those things he did, 18 and 8, with the pressure that's on him, are next level things. So, but that's for another time. It's about him making plays for this team and being as tough-minded defensively and as sound as he can be. And I thought he was really a difference maker with those ISO switches and plays.
If you're going to attempt one more.
Yeah, Tony, I know you hate these. Duke on Saturday, you mentioned so many times as an inexperienced team. How do you look at kind of this group going into that setting?
Yeah, we're going to have to be as ready as we can and play as sound and tough-minded. They obviously are, I'm sure, they were up at the half. I'm sure they won. Okay. It's every game's important, and that'll be a new situation and a new environment for a lot of our guys. I've been in there so many times, and they're one of our best teams in our league with the talent that they have. But what an opportunity for us to go in and try to carry on and just, be a wonderful one. But again, we'll try to take this same approach, and it's a quick turnaround. Obviously, we'll get back late, but this win gave us, I think, some excitement and some encouragement, and we'll take that on the road and be as ready as we can.